An Iditarod 53 champion has been crowned. And take a look at Jesse Holmes' reaction to his new title. Plus, another famous dog mushing race takes off. Here are the differences between a Fairbanks sprint race and the Iditarod. And March Madness, Alaska.
We're going into the weekend, and we're going to be looking at some sunshine into the interior, a chance of snow showers here in South Central.
And it's always a fun time of year. March Madness, Alaska. We're going to take you live to the games.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
Happening right now, the northbound lanes of Muldoon are closed near Dubin and Anchorage. APD says it has been closed since around 2 this afternoon after a hit-and-run collision involving a pedestrian. That person was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. APD says the major collision investigation unit is processing the scene. Again, the northbound lanes of Muldoon are closed, and police say it's best to avoid that area. The Alaska Performing Arts Center announced a big change. The PAC will pause Broadway shows next season, citing raising costs as a major factor in this decision. They say this pause will help secure the future. That means The Lion King is canceled. We're going to show you some video of the recent performances. And PAC says, in part, this is not a step back, it's a step forward. The center says it will ensure shows in the future.
Here's your champion of the 2025 Iditarod Sled Dog Race.
In his 8th attempt, Muster Jesse Holmes won his first Iditarod early this morning. He finished one of the longest races in Iditarod history. We'll hear from him as the winner in just a moment. Let me turn things over to Jackie Purcell and look at the weekend's forecast.
Yeah, Rebecca, it was an amazing night last night for so many areas of the state. The northern lights were out, but the real star of the show was that total lunar eclipse. So we're going to start out with one of those pictures. You can see the northern lights, and right in the center of your screen, that blood moon. That is occurs when the Earth is casting its shadow on the moon. Thank you to Simon Govluck out of the Wainwright area for that. It is spring break, the last day of it here in the Anchorage area, but folks are taken to the slopes, and a little bit of sunshine coming out here as we get into the afternoon. A lot of that snow on the roads is melting, but nothing of any big consequence. 37 degrees here in Midtown, but our official high for the Anchorage area at 34. 32 is the normal, but we have been as warm as 44 from 1984. Back into the interior, it's 30 degrees in Fairbanks for their high. Normal is 23, but the record is 46 from a long time ago, 1926. They're currently at 27 degrees, winds out of the north at 10. Big storm system will impact the Aleutians, eventually impacting a lot of the state as we get into the early part of next week. Some snow showers just west of Fairbanks. We'll see some of those snow showers tonight, likely in the Anchorage area on into Saturday morning, but not a lot of accumulation. These snow showers will slowly work their way east as we go through the weekend, heading into Prince William Sound by the time we hit Sunday. As far as the forecast here in Anchorage, we're looking at a high temperature into the low 30s tomorrow, that chance of some light snow. And you can see the temperatures and conditions across Fairbanks, Juneau, and Bethel. They're on the drier side as well as cooler side of weather. We'll have more on the forecast coming up a little bit later. Rebecca?
Thank you, Jackie. Well, there are no significant updates from the Alaska Volcano Observatory today about the possible Mount Spur eruption. The agency says that unrest continues. Some steam has been seen coming from the summit of the volcano. We have comprehensive coverage on our website. What you need to know if the volcano erupts, including car care, what to do with outdoor animals, and how to prepare. Still ahead at 6, March Madness, Alaska. We are live there after the break. Catch the latest on the tournament from Alaska's news source.
Here's your champion of the 2025 Iditarod Sled Dog Race.
In his 8th attempt, Muster Jesse Holmes won his first Iditarod early this morning. He finished one of the longest races in Iditarod history. He raced 1,000 128 miles in 10 days, 14 hours, and 55 minutes. Sports director Jordan Rodenberger relives the historic moment in Iditarod 53.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise. Let's see if Jesse can hear you.
Jesse Holmes saw his dream unfolding in front of him on the front street of Nome, Alaska. Winning his first career Iditarod sled dog race Friday morning.
Let him hear it, ladies and gentlemen.
Led under the burled arch by his four-legged superstars.
I'm really proud of these dogs. I love them, and they did it. They deserve all the credit.
Joining an elite class of mushers to win the last great race on Earth.
All the great, legends before me looking down on me and telling me I could do it. And I just wanted to join that club with them, and I've wanted that for a long time. And it's just, it's unreal.
Soaking in the moment and celebrating with his fans.
I'm beyond grateful for all the support from all the Alaskans and all the people around the world following me from the show, and when it's hard and tough out there, I just think about, all these people that are so excited and pulling for me.
Because Holmes has learned to take nothing for granted.
My life hasn't been a dream run, like I can think of times whenever I was a young man and I contemplated suicide even, and I was a lost individual, and through great mentors in my life and my love for animals, I've been able to build a life, and I just want to be able to share that with people. I want people to be able to feel the joy that I can feel right now, if I could do anything in this world, it would be to be able to give all of you some of this joy that I feel.
Living a dream he never wants to wake up from.
No, I'm not, I have nothing to stop smiling about, I have everything going for me, and, I should never feel a down moment in my life. If I died tomorrow, I'd just die the happiest man. And even if I hadn't won this race and I had just finished in third again, as much as I didn't want to finish in third again, we're so blessed and lucky to be able to do this and pursue our passion and make it our lifestyle.
Jordan Rodenberger, Alaska's news source.
The first four mushers have made it to the Burled Arch. After Holmes was Matt Hall, then Paige Drobny was in third. Michelle Phillips took fourth, and Bailey Vitelletto is paced to be the fifth. He's out of safety and less than 20 miles from the finish line. This year's mushers have a new Burled Arch to finish under the race. The other one collapsed. Photojournalist Eric Sohl has been following the process to build it and ship it to Nome. Head to our website to see the latest wrap of information on that process put into one story. And Fairbanks is hosting another famous dog race. The Open North American Championships began today. Mushers from across the world are there to compete. Adrian Peterson shows us the sprint mushing race that enters its 79th running.
Here at the Dog Mushers Hall on Farmers Loop Road, mushers from as far as Europe have come to compete in one of the most famous sprint mushing races. Unlike the long-distance races like the Iditarod and Yukon Quest, this race is set on a short-distance course and racers will remain in Fairbanks.
It's an older race, actually, than the Iditarod, and a lot of the dogs that started in the Iditarod race were from a sprint background.
Commonly called the ONAC, the Open North American Championship is a 3-day sprint mushing race that takes place exclusively at the Alaska Dog Mushing Association. There are both ski joring and mushing categories, with dogs that tend to be more geared toward a sprint-style race, looking slightly different from their Iditarod counterparts. Unlike the Iditarod and Yukon Quest, this race is also focused on course times rather than a first-to-the-finish line approach.
The long-distance one obviously involves a lot of the camping and the outdoor and the wilderness, and this is really about speed and on a closed course, and it really emphasizes the idea on performance on a fast level.
The race will continue through Sunday, at which point race times for all 3 days will be totaled up and champions in each category will be declared. Adrian Peterson, Alaska's news source.
the madness that is March has come to Anchorage. Basketball fans and players from around the state are in town for state tournament action. John Thompson joins us live from the Alaska Airlines Center.
Hey, Rebecca, we got a hot barn here at the Alaska Airlines Center in Anchorage, and I'm joined by a couple of players from Aniak. We got Sierra and Cassandra. Now, I know we didn't have a great turnout at this tournament, but did you have a good time, a good experience?
Yeah, it was a good experience. This is our first time in 7 years.
Yeah. That's really impressive. I mean, so how was your season? What did it take to get to this point?
It was a tough season. We lost a lot of times, but then our coach made us work harder and harder every day on running and defense, and then it helped us a lot.
And that kind of pushed you to get to the state tournament?
Yes.
Very cool. And Cassandra, tell me a little bit, what was your favorite part of playing in the state tournament? We got thousands of people here. Was it a little nerving?
Yeah, it was really cool to be on the court and stuff and see all the different types of teams.
All right, very good. Well, anything you want to tell us about your community back home in Aniak? I know a lot of people are watching and would like to know just a little bit about your community. What do you think? Or anyone you want to say hello to back home?
The community's good. It's filled with lots of different people. And it's a good school.
Anything you want to add?
I don't know.
What's fun to do in Aniak? Obviously a lot of basketball.
People always ride around. They go pulling with snow machines and sleds all day.
All right, very good. Well, Cassandra and Sierra, thank you very much for hanging out with us for a few minutes. This was really awesome, Rebecca. We got 48 teams from over 30 villages from across the state here. I think they said the most attended sporting event in Alaska. Last year, they had 38,000 people over the course of 118 games in 8 days. Now, this is the 1A and the 2A boys and girls tournaments of March Madness. Next week, you'll have the 3A and the 4A. But a lot of fun. I suggest if you can make it down tonight, I think the next game kickoff in a few minutes, right after these ones are done. So in about 5 minutes. A lot of action. John Thompson from the Alaska Airlines Center, Alaska's news source.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.